welcome to the weekly review for Week 8 for the Freedom Fantasy League. Half the season is now dead and gone. Is it good or bad players that your hope at the draft spawned? Are you sitting pretty like the 7-1 Snake Eyes? Or are you like Oh My Gato, who can't win no matter how hard he tries? All right, on to the match scores for Week 8. Before I get started though, the co-commissioner wasn't able to join me, so I decided to record this on my own. Hopefully it's okay. I know it's not as good whenever Steve's with me, but hopefully this will be good enough. All right, yeah, I want to make sure that we keep going. All right, here we go. On to the scores. Blitz flushed TGMP 188.4 to 141.05, ending Blitz's losing streak. This match was projected to be a knockdown, drag-out fight, but highly touted Tyler Lockett barely showed up with 1.9 points, and the Green Bay defense folded under the mighty offense of Jacksonville. In other words, it was a fluky day for the Pooh. Yeah, one positive is that his pickup of Rachaad White seems to be gold, since he's now one of the main passing weapons for Tampa Bay after the unfortunate wide receiver injuries. Plus, all reports are that after missing all year, Christian McCaffrey should be back after their bye in Week 11. Just like when you eat a bad taco, I don't think we've heard the last of the Pooh.
Waka, waka.
Moving on, Blue Hair, White Dragon, torched the Gut, 233.7 to 190.2. The loss hurts for the Gut, considering he's in must-win mode, but his team way outperformed projections, and his late week pickup of Kate Otten came through with an amazing 31.6 points, so it looks to be brighter days ahead for the Gut. BHWD, Blue Hair White Dragon, sent a message to the league letting us all know what happens when her team performs and doesn't do that stupid, screwy, everything looks good but the players don't perform bit that drives fantasy football players into despair. Yeah. Moving on. The Doc snuffed out Form Blazing Sword 171.6 to 135.55, giving him the same record as Form Blazing Sword, but both sitting at 5-3. This one could have ended differently, though, if Form Blazing Sword's hero, Jordan Mason, didn't get injured and was able to last the whole game, since his no-name backup, Isaac Garindo, he exploded for 21.7 points. Yeah, that all could have been Blazing Swords, man, if Mason would have held up. You combine all that with Drake Blunden. Yeah, man, Drake Blunden. Let's call him that. Yeah, combine that with if Drake Blunden would have done close to what he had been for the past month. Yeah, we would have probably had a match of the week here, man. But none of that happened. The Doc was saved by Tua coming back and ignoring Hill, but feeding Devon Achane, who got 33.2 points. But the boldest move, seriously, this was a bold move for the Doc, was when he started Puka Nacua after Nacua barely practiced all week and came back strong for the Doc with 21.1 points. Seriously, he seemed like a trap, but man, he turned out to be a champion. Yeah, crazy. All right, so this leads us to the match of the week. Yeah, now this match pitted number 5 Mom Spaghetti against number 6 Super Mariota Brothers. Mom Spaghetti had been on a serious heater once, being the music to our ears, and now worked all the way up into playoff contention. Super Mariota Brothers had just been solidly cruising along. 89999999999 star kick. Hey, sorry guys, I'm reading this verbatim. This is where my cat ran across the keyboard. Literally, he ran across the keyboard. That's what it typed. Anyway, let me start again. Super Mariota Brothers had just been solidly cruising along, expertly navigating the Jonathan Taylor injury with the help of Kareem Hunt, who he found just sitting in the pool. As the game started, the teams stood against each other, exchanging blows. When Mom Spaghetti had Lamar Jackson go for 42.05 points, S&M Brothers would counter with Kyler Murray's 42.75 points. When J.K. Dobbins had 19.8 points for Spaghetti, S&M had Saquon Barkley whipping out 19.6 points. Blow for blow. Even the defenses matched up on one-on-one, One was having 21.1 points, and the other an even 20 points. Yeah, so everything was going. Yeah, but when the day games ended, Mount Spaghetti was in the lead, 170.9 to 164.6, with the S&M brothers only having erratic Deebo Samuel Sr. and Dicker the kicker, Cameron Dicker, to go. Yeah, but somehow, to be honest with you, the kicker's name, right? Dicker the kicker kind of fits perfectly into the orifice of the S&M brothers. Anyway, as the Sunday night game started, it was obvious what was about to happen, as Deebo Samuel was the obvious clear target favorite for Purdy. And all Mom Spaghetti could do was just sit there, watching her lead slowly evaporate, like being run over by a Zamboni. As the clock struck 11 p.m. on Sunday night, the damage was done, and Super Mariota Brothers jumped over Mom Spaghetti, 182.2 to 170.9, giving them an even 4-4 record for the season. He will look to start a winning streak as he takes on TGMP next week. Mom Spaghetti, she drops to 3-5 and is boiling hot mad, setting her sights on 5-2 form Blazing Sword. All right, so that leads us to the blowout of the week. Yeah, this one's gonna hurt. Okay, anyway, the reigning leader of the league, Snake Eyes, gets the blowout of the week over Oh My Gato, beating me by 79.68 with a 79.68 points with a score of 225.85 to 146.17. That amount seems so pedestrian. After the last 3 weeks, there were record-breaking blowout amounts. We didn't have a show last week, apologize for that, but the blowout of the week was by a record-breaking 108.35 points, which beat the previous week's record of 105.11 points, which beat the previous week's record of 103.9 points. Going up and up and up and up, so 79.68 sounds like a lot, but, you know, I'm in context. Come on, man, give it to me. I need some hope. I need some happiness. Anyway, check this out. Before the match, the points were projected for Oh My Gato to finally change Snake Eyes' fortune and give him a taste of that losing libation. But we all forgot that Oh My Gato has the anti-Midas touch right now. Everything I touch turns to mold. I just can't win. Yeah, so we can all look at the awesome names with the awful protection on Oh My Gato's roster. So let's not dwell on that bag of mush right now. Let's talk about Snake Eyes, who had an incredible week with CeeDee Lamb scoring 49.1 points, George Kittle scoring 36.3, and Trey McBride scoring 24.4 points. That's 3 players combined for an amazing 109.8 points. All the other 6 players had to do was just show up, basically, on his team. Yeah, which they mostly did, which led to such a blowout. But, you know, in retrospect, this was the sound of inevitability, Mr. Anderson. Yeah, I mean, we have a paper tiger going against the leader of the league, who openly mocks and laughs at us from on high. Yeah, the brilliance of ignorance is that it allows for hope in awful situations, and that's exactly what kept me going. Oh my God, they're going. But I bet you I would have felt a little differently if I had only saw the truth. What is that? We have a cruel king. Now, even after fate took Mike Evans from him last week, Snake Eyes still points his fingers and laughs at us all. Why wouldn't he? Considering he didn't start a defense last week and still won. Not since Bombada have we had such a dominant leader with such a heavy hand. Will anyone be able to humble this braggadocious king? Oh My Gato's fangless team was not even in the same stratosphere as Snake Eyes' fully venomized team, so he definitely wasn't the hero that we all need. Me? Wasn't it? Was me. But I asked, will it be number 2 ranked Blue Hair White Dragon, who just had the highest scored in the league this week? Will she roll a backdoor Little Joe, or simply crap out? This is going to be a fun match to watch as number 1 takes on number 2. I know that sounds like childish bathroom humor, but it really is. A Titan versus a Titan! Yeah, so meanwhile, Oh My Gato is hoping ignorantly perhaps, to turn my luck around when I take on the 5-3, the Doc. All right, let's move on to the rankings. So let's see where everybody sits with the rankings after week 8. Last week, I asked if we had another Bombata on our hands. Well, after he arrogantly laughs at us all, I would say yes. With a record of 7 wins and 1 loss and an incredible 6-game win streak, Snake Eyes is feeling superior and mocking us all from atop of the league, even though he is only 1 loss away from disaster. However, this guy has not lost in a month and a half. Okay, seriously, a month and a half. 6 weeks, a whole semester for school. Right? This guy hasn't he has not lost. It's crazy. Yeah. Congratulations, Snake Eyes. Number 2, sitting at second, is Blue Hair White Dragon with an impressive 6-2 record. She won the championship in 2022. Could she be making a run for a second? We'll see. Looking good. Rounding out the top of the league rounding out the top 3 of the league is the Doc, sitting at third with a record of 5-3. He just continues winning and climbing, and considering he's playing the league slump buster this week, it's quite possible his ascent hasn't plateaued. Dropping down from second to fourth is Form Blazing Sword, also with a 5-3 record, and is only out of the top 3 by less than 50 points. So watch out, the Doc. Form Blazing Sword's coming. Yeah, after his come from behind win, Super Mario Brothers sits in 5th with an even 4-4 record. Sitting at 6th is Mom Spaghetti with a record of 3-5. 7th is where Oh My Gato, that's me, resides with a record of 3-5 after suffering yet another loss. I think, yes, this is a recording. Yeah, oh gosh. And 8, even with the win, Blitz maintains his 8th spot this week for the 3rd week in a row with a record of 3-5. 9th, after losing even though his score would have been high enough to beat 7 other teams this past week, the Gut, with a record of 2-6, sits there. With this being the 2nd week in a row, he's at 9th. It looks like maybe the Gut is settled. Yeah, right now, we'll see. Yeah, but seriously, that's a crazy stat right there. I don't want to blow past that too much. That his score, the Gut's score this past week, would have beaten 7 other teams. Crazy, huh? Yeah, but unfortunately, he wasn't playing those guys. He was playing them with the higher points. Anyway, at 10, and also with a record of 2-6, just like the Gut, the literal music to our ears, TGMP has plopped to 10. All right, so let's move on. Before we end the review, it's time to call out some teams for some embarrassing situations with the segment we call Oops, I Shit My Pants. All right, we'll start off with the commissioner, me, Oh My Gato, who kept my streak and kept the streak in my underwear alive when I started Devontae Adams over Josh Downs, leaving Downs 34.18 points on my bench. You know, we all know what I was screaming. Oh my Gato when this all came out. There was a nastiness abound when Blitz did exactly that in his pants when he started Michael Pittman Jr. over Sam Laporta in the flex on National Tight End Day, and Laporta actually scored 6 times higher than Pittman. Here's what we're all hearing. TGMP lived up to his name when he started Tyler Lockett over Devontae Smith, who scored over 30 times higher than Lockett. Beware of this blowout! And the Poopiest Pants Award goes to Form Blazing Sword, who laid his first turd by leaving Travis Kelce's 28 points on the bench. Pilot to Bombardier, open Bombay door number 1. And the second came when he started the wrong junior, starting Brian Robinson Jr. over Tyron Tracy Jr., who scored 4 times higher than Robinson, which in turn left Tracy's amazing 40.5 points on his bench. Pilot to Bombardier, Open up Bombay number 2. All right. The Doc is no longer sterile when he started Brees Hall over Calvin Ridley in the flex, who scored over 3 times higher than Hall and left Ridley's 35.6 points on the bench. Everybody duck when you hear this sound. Okay. Let this serve as a reminder that you should always store your cooked meals in the fridge, since this decision smelled worse than week-old Mont Spaghetti. This is what happened when she started Nick Chubb over Raheem Mostert, who scored over 3 times more points than Chubb, considering she lost by only 12 points, and that was that decision was a match-altering decision. It gives this particular one the braided effect. Here it comes. Okay. Last one. Super Mario Brother made a mound so big that not even he could jump over when he moved some stuff. If he would have moved some stuff around and started Kyle Pitts over Jalen Waddle, he would have had Pitts 36.6 points on his roster instead of Waddle's measly 10 points sitting there. Watch out, because here comes the rotten mushroom. Why did I throw a punch? I have no idea. All right, so that wraps up the Week 8 review. Remember, everyone, please pay your $20 entrance fee. This is what goes to the payout to the winner. So let's all pay our part so the winner can get their full amount. Remember, we're all friends and family here, and it's halfway through the season. What are you doing? Pay it. Pay to play, baby. Pay to play. I mean, you're playing. We're not going to stop it. Come on, man. So, with that, congratulations to the winners. Consolations to the losers. And see you guys and gals next week. And in remembrance of my bro, I got to say, stay strong. Be of good coverage. And long live the Republic.